Hey, what's going on, people? By people, I mean the like one or two subscribers that I have actually. Let me check this out, which is wild to me. The fact that somebody out there is watching my adventure of a lifetime trying to go on 300 dates and the whole debacle of my life being in shambles and trying to put the pieces together. It's just I think it's more therapy for me. 300 dates on YouTube. I saw I have 4 subscribers, which is insane. Holy shit. And one of them is not my mom. So wow, that is incredible. My last video has 6 views. The one before that has 14 views. The one before that has 11 views. And one of them has a comment saying, get a better audio, which I guess counts as good feedback, but thanks. I guess, but nothing about actually the content of what it is that I'm doing and exploring. So today's actually my last night in Dubai yet again. And so a lot has happened that I want to share with you, and hopefully I don't miss my flight. And hopefully this ice cream, which is my dinner, which I've earned by doing a 1-hour workout, doesn't melt too much by the time I'm done rambling and sharing with you the wildness of my life. Because I came here in a way where I was supposed to go on a date with this really, how do I describe her? Fun, very explorative girl in Bangladesh that I had a date with, that I had to take a rain check on because of needing to come to Dubai and figure out my finances. As you know, no money, no honey. And I was like, the only reason I'm in your life and you're in my life is because I have money. And that is currently in jeopardy. So I gotta go fix that before I look into, having great times. So it's funny because she was saying that she was very aroused and was looking forward to our date. So it's, I felt really bad, so much so I was like, I gotta make this trip worth it. And I said, look, I don't want to explain my problems to you because you deserve solutions. You never want to explain to a girl unless she's your wife. I think that's the only time. And even then, you want to try to mitigate as much as possible of what you're going through financially, unless she's spending like crazy. Like, honey, before we have to both sleep on couches, let's simmer down on the spending and the credit cards and the lavish Instagram posts. But so I had to kind of explain that. So it was with that sort of mission that I came to Dubai. And surprisingly, it wasn't the company that I came here for that led to a hyper productive week. It was somebody that I invited to look at that company with me that provided me another interesting solution, that he then connected me to the co-founder of the company the next day. And I was like, okay, I got to ask my deep introspective questions about how the operations and things. And I was like, okay, we have something here. Let's get things rolling. And they said they were going to open a physical office in Dubai. And I was like, okay, well, I'm working out of this office. It's not really that lucrative. Let me look at this plan. And it was actually very lucrative. And so I kind of shifted my focus. I did a lot of groundwork for company A, but company B had a lot of gems of opportunities. So that's kind of where I've been for the past week, is working out of that second office, hyper productive, leading to new income. Yes, I have, and it's so tragic to look at, even $4.2 million that I cannot access. And I don't know if I will be able to access. Now, there was an email that was given out saying that maybe in the next 15 business days, not maybe, they said in the next 15 business days, that pending withdrawals, which I already have like $50,000 or $45,000 worth of that already pending for many months. When I saw that email, I was like, is this false hope? Like, let me not like predict or like plan my life with this, because I was about to drop everything and like I'm already a multimillionaire. Let me just be an investor. And that's kind of where I want to be, is an investor, let my money go to work and me go out on these adventurous dates around the world. So, and focus on my health and sleep and exploring philosophy and the rise of artificial intelligence, which is amazing. I have to really discuss that, because that keeps me up at night. So when I got that email, I came home. I didn't immediately leave the dinner table, because I was at the dinner table with the co-founder of the company I was working very closely with this past week. And I showed it to him. I was like, hey, you remember that money I said it was stuck? Maybe I'll be able to access it. And he's like, he's hoping for the best. And but I'm also preparing for the worst, which is working on this sort of new income. So I came home and I actually executed a $100,000 withdrawal, which we'll see what happens, but I'm not betting on it. Building new income. So now with this new income, I'm making like already like a few thousand a week. So, and it's only been like 8 days for me. So I already made like close to $3,000 this week. That's wild. That's just on week 1. So, I do what I do, and that allows me to live quite an adventurous life. Speaking of adventurous life, I've been extending this Airbnb over and over. It is quite messy, as you can see. The bed has been used for a good time, and I love this full wall of it's the Dubai view. I mean, nothing that special here. But it's just a little bit of, wait, my audio's over there. I forgot I left my audio piece here. So, but it's just the Dubai nights. Yeah, I kept renewing this Airbnb. I really like it because the bed is just very like imperial, and it was shared. So, I got cozy there, but it was shared not necessarily with the most, like I said, ramen noodles, filet mignon kind of quality in dating. The more that I find different girls and I interact with them, I realize the value of a beautiful mind. I realize the value of an intelligent mind, and I look for that so much more than the physicality. And it's so rare to find, because it's so much superficial conversation. And then when I try to dive into deeper conversation, there isn't much of the interesting thoughts or interesting scenarios that they can keep up with. I'd love for a girl to blow my mind instead of, well, I mean, she could also blow me in other ways, but also blow my mind. So yes, I almost went on a date with another girl. She reached out to me. We had matched on a dating app many months ago when I was living in the Burj, which I still may get back to. I had invited her over. She lives in like Sharjah, another part. And then she said she saw that I was back in Dubai, and she said let's go out to. Let me just. Well, I think the texts are here, or. Yeah, so she wanted to go out, and I said I'm flexible, and she sent me a picture. Like, we had coordinated for one night, but not an exact time. I just said I'm available. I'm just working at Business Bay. You can come through, and she sent me a picture of like her in traffic, and she said this traffic is very dense and whatnot. Is it okay if I'm late? I was like, sure. I'm just here and working and stuff like that. And I said something about like, at least it's building up our appetite. And that was the end. I didn't hear from her. I didn't bother texting her. And that was it. I was like, oh, whatever. But honestly, I was actually very busy. I'm glad she didn't show up, because one meeting led to another meeting. It was a hyper productive evening. And I don't know if I could have given her the peace of mind and the space for us to like comfortably, I would have definitely been on my multitude of phones, including the one I'm recording this on, because that's when I was getting the business off the ground and creating content around the business and understanding it very closely with the co-founders. In fact, today the CEO showed up in Dubai from Europe, and I got a chance to do an interview with him, and it's going phenomenal. Like I'm surprised, and with this piece of like getting money off the ground, I can now start focusing on the honeys. I'll tell you this, anytime, and I realized this, I was at the gym earlier, and I realized that anytime you feel like a girl is out of your league, or that you're the lucky one in getting access to her, it just means we haven't raised our value high enough. And I was like, this really left a deep impression on me. This quote that you can go to any club in any city in the world and find beautiful women. Try doing that with a high quality man. And that made me realize that, and of course there's biasness in it. Maybe it's just what I need to tell myself to feel like, to work on myself. But it made me realize that high value men are a rarity, so much so that we can see ourselves as much of the prize as we see the beautiful woman. And it's not just a beautiful physicality. As I'm saying, I'm realizing the value of a beautiful mind and a beautiful character. Speaking of that, I realize I really love flirting. I flirt a lot, and happily so. Like there was this Indonesian 40-something-year-old woman that was charming, and I would just like, she was like asking for my contact detail because we met through the business that I was working. She had flown in to take a deeper look, and I was like, don't tell your husband about you taking my number or whatnot. And she laughed, and she's like, she's divorced. And I was like, oh, okay then. But we got along very, very well, and now I have an Indonesian wife. Speaking of an Indonesian wife, I matched with an Indonesian woman lady, 30 years old. I mean, like whatever. She's very attractive. She's in Indonesia. She has a son, and I was still curious. I mean, I'm curious because like I like the idea of a prepackaged family. As my last ex had a daughter, and we were like a compact family, and it was a beautiful time, beautiful experience. And so I was like, and what caught my attention about her profile is it said that she's an intellectual. Like she described herself as an intellectual, as someone that loves to travel, and it reminded me of the kind of experience that I had with my ex and the kinds of adventures that I had. So I was more keen to have a conversation, and honestly, if someone could tantalize my mind, that I cannot express. Like if we could just dive into deep conversation and like be up till 3-4 a.m. That's the person that I'd want to like keep with me always, because my mind is always wondering, pondering, and I don't want to have to turn that off to engage with my girl of like, yeah, let's talk about worldly things or superficial things, or what do you think about this friend, or should we go to this event, or like these sorts of conversations. Like I'd love to sit under stars and contemplate and discuss with someone, with her, whoever her is, quantum fluctuations, and is the universe a simulation? And what if it is? Does it take away from the experience and the meaning and the purpose that we can create? How people make sense of their suffering, or how we remember our lives, or have fake memories, or how we look forward to the future and regret the past and not at the present. Like all of these like philosophical puzzlements I'd love to ponder with her. And that honestly would make me so into, I think that's what, something about like sexually attracted to intellectual people, sexually attracted, what is it called, like sapio something sexual, attracted to someone. Okay, wait, oh, no, I'm intellectual. I forgot. I just put sexually attracted to someone. Intellectual. I don't know. I put intellectual. So yeah, sapiosexual. So I guess that's kind of describing what I'm saying. In popular culture, an individual who finds high value in intelligence, the most sexual attractive attribute in a person is known as sapiosexual. Okay, so kind of that, like the other day I was watching like this is the kind of stuff I watch to soothe my mind to sleep, about like quantum physics and stuff like that. And there was this woman who's a theoretical physicist, and you know she's like a physically a 5, yet I was so attracted to her, of like, oh, imagine the conversations we can have and the deep diving, and maybe I can learn something from her, because every conversation I have with a girl, it's usually me explaining concepts to her, like that if space-time is, if all of space-time exists right now and they're interlinked, that means all of space exists right now and all of time exists right now. So that would lead to a deterministic future, meaning that all of time has already existed to the point where we're just living through it. It's already been determined, it's already in place. It's just like you're just navigating through a predetermined pathway that exists. So I remember I did discuss this on the first date with my second ex, and I did bring that up. So and in bed I discuss like cuddled up, discussing about the rise of artificial intelligence, and I was like having almost like this, how do you say, dispute, or like trying to prove the point to this girl that when a physical humanoid general artificial intelligence android is available, even if it costs $100,000, people will go out of their way to find a way to buy one, because of how much it will improve the quality of their lives, as well as their income, as well as be a part of the modern society, in the same way that living without a phone right now in the modern economy and modern society is like insane, because it's like, how do you function when you meet someone, or how do you do business, or how do you keep up with the ever-changing world? And she's like, but it's going to be too expensive. You can't expect the average person to do that. I was like, the average person buys a house. The average person buys a car. They would just not do those things and save up, because they know once they can buy this, it will exponentially increase the value of their or quality of their life. And she was still making the point, like, you can't expect someone to, how is a teacher going to come up with 100,000? I was like, if you had to come up with 100,000 over the course of multiple years to save your life, you'll find a way to do that. And it's the same way of keeping up with the modern economy. I mean, like, how many people can function in the modern world without a cell phone? So anyway, this is getting me heated up just trying to recreate the scenario, because I was just like, and then I ultimately said, we're just in two different like phases in life and levels in life, because she's not a earner. She's I mean, like, I'm a businessman, like I know, I ask not how much something costs, but I do ask that. But I evaluate how much it's going to save me, how much it's going to earn me, how much it's going to generate in future value. Not just like, if you bring me something that's $100,000 and can explain to me how that's gonna lead me to make $1 million, no problem. Like, bring me something that costs $1 million and makes me 10 million. I don't look at that as the deciding factor, but rather the value. And I think, I want to say small-minded, but just unexperienced individuals can't see the world like that. So that's just some of my frustrations with. So what I mean to say by this is that, like, after that discussion, I was like, I don't think I'm like in my mind, I was like, I'm not attracted to this person just because of their ideology of this. I mean, how far can you go with a girl that constantly talks about the world being flat? And let's say that she's like an 8, 9, physically, and there's not much up there, and she's talking about, like the edge of the world, and like it's yeah, I definitely realize more and more of what I'm looking for, and this is actually a huge part of why I'm on this endeavor. Speaking of what I'm looking for, so the girl in Indonesia, the one that has a son, the one that's rather attractive, and the one that says that she's an intellectual, we've been trying to have a conversation, but the time zones and me being busy. So today I was actually rather done quite early because I did the interview with the CEO, and that was like my biggest task of the day. And that being done, I came back, took a nap, and worked out and packed. So I messaged her saying, hey, are you free to talk or something? And she messaged this, and my God, it turned me off so quick that I was just like, I didn't even want to message her ever again. It just huge turn off, and I don't even know why, but maybe we'll dive into it. So I said, I'm more available today, available to chat over the phone. She said, and this is the line that turned me off, I'm outside having dinner with my coworkers. I took a few minutes to reply to say, enjoy in peace. And then she replied, call in a few hours. And I took even longer, like probably 20 minutes, to say, you can just call me whenever it's comfortable for you. She did not call, and I don't care. So the reason why this turned me off is because we were trying to connect over the past few days. Her side of sending a text back definitely takes a long time. I did ask about her son, which I thought would be because I'm sure she gets called beautiful a lot, but like, who's gonna provide for him? Who's gonna think of him? They're just trying to, think about, think with their smaller heads. I'm thinking more like chess moves. And I'll never forget this, like when I was with my last ex, and one time I gave a gift to her and the little one, my daughter, man, it's wild that she's left such an impression on me that I can say my daughter and feel appropriate. Because I did propose to her in Malaysia, in an island called Penang. I remember like saying, will you be my daughter? And I asked the permission of the mom if I can ask the daughter if she'd be my daughter. And I think I have it recorded, maybe on this phone or this phone. That's wild. But yeah, so I remember I gave a gift to my daughter. And she's like, are you giving, and she's like 4 years old. She's like, are you giving me this gift because you love my mom? And I was like, I love you too. So yeah, that was kind of cute and very, we all laughed. Like, she's like, her mom was just, Yeah, today I was thinking about her mom, my ex, and I was like, thanks for the great memories. Um, I see so many reasons why it shouldn't even been a relationship. We come from such a interesting background of things, and somehow, life made this happen, and I was just grateful for the experience, and I just said thanks out loud to no one. But anyway, so I asked about her son. She didn't reply back for many hours until I said that let's talk, or I'm available to talk on Instagram, because I saw that she replied back to something like a post that I shared with her about like a couple or something like that and a family. So yeah, the reason why that reply bothered me is because I felt like I would never be a priority in her life. Not only would I be number two from the get-go, which I understand. I mean, her son, but automatically I'd be the second or third man in her life, whether it's her father, her ex-boyfriend or husband, her son, and then little me over there. And then she works, which I understand you have to provide for the kid and the family, but I not only not want my girl to work unless it's like a very interesting benefits of that work, but also just allowing work and coworkers, bro. That was another red flag. Turned me off so much. Like the can you imagine like telling your girlfriend, and I know we're not anything right now, but telling your girlfriend who texted you, call me babe, and you're like, I'm having dinner with my coworkers, bro. I'm not gonna message this girl again, unless she messages me. But that's just more out of fun. But yeah, also the fact that she didn't call anytime after, so it just shows like, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like. Anyway, I'm just exploring different options and whatnot. And also weird stuff. So I also like, I do have a flight like, in about 2-3 hours. When is my flight exactly? So it's 10:15 right now. My flight is at 2, so I should be leaving in the next 30 minutes. So I'll finish up my ice cream dinner. This is actually my dinner, which is not good. But I'm going Emirates business class, so they have amazing, amazing for flights, cuisine, and so looking forward to that. What was I gonna share with you about something? Why did I open my laptop? Oh, right. So not only have I coordinated to meet with the girl, the very exploratory girl who is actually a virgin for now, but she's very adorable in the sense that she wants to wait for the right, or not the right, her husband. She wants to wait for her husband. But we're pushing the boundaries. We're pushing the boundaries of what is permissible. We went from no touching to a whole lot of skin to skin. So anyway, I've put. I told her, like, as soon as my flight was confirmed, I said, hey, I'll be back in town. When are you next available? And let's have a date night. And so she, I think, is making arrangements for maybe as soon the same day I land, because the same day I land, I'm gonna go see my father. Then I'm gonna spend a date night with her, and then the next day, actually in the afternoon, I'm flying to Saudi Arabia to meet with my mom and do the pilgrimage, Hajj. So that's a very bizarre thing to talk about on this channel, but I'll actually be also making some videos from there. It is actually a very interesting topic to talk about with girls. Believe it or not, it will help me with my game. And as much as I'm not ready for the religious, like spiritual, no, religious and spiritual, two different things. Let me not put them together. As much as I'm not ready for the religious, in inter or how do you say, like immersive, or immersing myself in the religious practices and the beliefs. I cannot pass up this experience to have with my mom, in something that's deeply meaningful to her, and I hope that I get something out of it, which of course the experience itself, but also like there's this girl who is a very beautiful girl here in Dubai. We actually kissed in a very strange setting, which was in a club back in, like, I think, was it October. I was sitting with her friend and her. This is the most wildest thing. Well, I've done wild things, but I was like this. I kissed her friend, turned, and I kissed her. And I was just like, who am I? Whose life am I living? How am I this cool? Did I just do that? So, oh my God, one of my friends who's going through a divorce is just calling me. Shit, bro, this is wild. He fucked up. He fucked up. He let this girl, a gym girl, text him, not just hey, but hey, it's the love of your life. And instead of correcting her, saying that no, my wife is the love of my life, he gave like a comical reply back that a few days later his wife saw, and didn't say anything. Then in bed, when he tried to get under the same blanket as her, his wife passive aggressively said, "Why don't you go cuddle with the girl from the gym or something?" And yeah, so now he's going through that. So I'm trying to coach him through it. I don't know who I am to be able to give him any sort of insights. So anyway, I have that date night for literally tomorrow. Like, it's, you know, when I land and get through my day, and then in the evening I have date night. And then also my secretary in Bangladesh said something that was like, these things like make me feel cringe about her, because she does these things that push the boundaries of like wifehood. She's like, I didn't ask her to do this. She said, I will cook for you, because I told her to book a car to pick me up from the airport and then take me to my home in Dhaka, and then I'll go and visit my dad in the village and bring me back to Dhaka. And so she coordinated that, and I said also get a flower arrangement that I can take to my parents' home. Did I mention that my father got married to a second wife? So that's wild. So that my dad's in the village with the second wife, whereas my mom, first wife, is in Saudi Arabia, and I'll be visiting my dad and his second wife, because also Father's Day is coming, and also I haven't seen him in a long time, and I'll just be in the country for a little bit and then going to Saudi Arabia. So I want to take that chance to go see him, especially because a lot of our relatives are giving them a hard time about getting the second wife, and giving like a lot of like side-eye glances and like words and disassociations and not picking up phone calls. I'm like, who the fuck do they think they are? Like, they need us. We provide the financial stability for them to make their houses, open up their businesses. Whenever they need financial support, they come to us. So why are you biting the hand and judging the hand that feeds you? I had my cousin, one of my cousins that is my mom's oldest sister's youngest daughter, called me literally like 2-3 days ago. So I'm here in Dubai working on business stuff, and she just wanted to like gossip about my mom, saying I couldn't even go and see her before she left because of how disgusting I feel that she did this thing and got like a second wife. I'm like, what did she do to you? What did she take from you? What does she owe you? Did she do anything even non-religious? Because in Islam you can do that. And she's like, no, she didn't. No, she doesn't owe me anything. No, yeah. Then I'm like, then why is this bothering you so much? And I said, don't ever call me like this. And this is someone that I've given money to, I want to do more for, and I'm just like, these people are so retarded. Like, why would you A, care, and then B, tell the person that, like, that's my mom you're talking about. Regardless of if she's right or not, I will defend my mom over whoever the fuck you are. I don't care if you're my cousin or anybody else. Like, you defend your mom first and foremost. And so I want to give them some reassurance and some presence, like, mom, dad, I got your back, as well as new stepmom. I don't know, but anyway, so I told her, my secretary, to arrange all of that. Then from nowhere, she said sure, and she arranged the car. She'll do the flower thing in the morning. She said, unprompted, I will cook for you at the afternoon so that you can eat before coming from where, or like, so she'll like make me food that I can take, and in the morning we'll give you a light breakfast as you will be in a rush. Bro, she often hints at, like, this sort of like being in something more, and it's cute at the same time. Intellectually, it's not there. I just need someone badass that is beautiful and badass, however you combine that. So those are some of the things that are going on in my life. Financially, things are beginning to pick up. I'm extremely I feel so much more at ease with that, because as a man, as a provider, as an oldest brother, as the oldest son, as the guardian of my family, as the guardian of those in my life financially, and not to mention provider for myself, which, by the way, today I was at lunch with the CEO, and I told, so after the interview, I was like, hey, have you had lunch? He's like, no, I'm very hungry. I'm like, let me treat you to lunch. Okay, I sound like a baller, right? Negative bank account. And so when we're done eating, I asked for the check, and like a baller, I'm like, Apple Pay, I pay, and then I see my bank account saying, even more negative balance. Thank God it went through. But that's my mental game. That's where I am. In terms of, I'll always make more. I'm a producer, and so I have this reassurance, and also things are progressing, and I've never been shy to put myself deeper into the whole, if I know I can get myself out, or if I just trust in my wings, trust in my ability to provide and produce income more than save. So I don't retract from the bill at the table, also from even dating, not so much for the financial reason, but because it is a distraction while you're trying to get on solid financial ground. But even then, I've gone on many dates as a brokey, like giving this like grand image of like I got life together and whatnot, and I'm like being mindful of what I order. So those are just some of the adventures of my life. I am gonna be heading out right now to the airport. I'm actually very much looking forward to Emirates business class. I actually came here to Dubai in Emirates economy, and I'm leaving here on Emirates business with I love the treatment. I love the reclining. I love the big screen. I love the food. I love the drinks. Man, it's just, I'm looking forward to the flight, man. It's life's getting better. Life's an adventure. There's no destination that I'm trying to achieve. It's just more of taking care of the people that I cherish. This is the day-by-day journey of an adventure of a lifetime.